Okay, we are live. Let's see here. Twitch still thinks that we are offline. Oh, now we are online. Okay, cool. Cool. Sure. So now Twitch knows we're online as well. So let me share a screen. Okay. All right. Cool. My voice. What? Oh, like it's like I lost my voice a little bit. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, say something.
Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, great. Now the stream can hear you as well. Microphone, great. So this is here.
Maybe this is Skype. Let me disconnect Skype and call you back.
Okay.
Like Skype, the screen sharing is not really working
All right.
anymore.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, okay. So the voice is good now. Would you share screen again?
Yeah.
I think Skype had a glitch.
Okay. Sharing screen. Shared.
Okay. Still spinning, but you can just go ahead. I don't know why, but go ahead.
It's
Maybe
probably
I'll watch you on this.
your pitiful internet.
No, it's not my internet. I think it's just Skype.
That's open source, full stack. No, it's not actually here. It's open source and then Circle, CI, Radar, and let's do client. And let's start a new TMUX session here. Let's put it here. Awesome. So here we can do yarn start. And now let's go ahead and restart the server. Open source, Circle CI Radar server. And awesome. And let's start a new TMUX session here. Let's put it in place. All right, cool. All right. Awesome. And let's go ahead and start the server. So we'll start Postgres here and yarn start here. All right. So now let's look at the server, and I made a little bit of I made a bit of improvements. Not a whole lot. Projects not found. Message project not found.
So, sorry to interrupt you a little bit. Hello.
Yeah.
So I think so. Skype is not working for me. I don't know why. So maybe I have to go with I'm gonna go with Twitch today because then the voice and the video is a disconnect with me, and the voice is sounding really weird, and I don't want to take the streaming time to debug this issue right now.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna watch you through Twitch and let's debug this. I don't know, later or tomorrow, a little bit earlier. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, something's off. Thanks, man.
All right. So something is going on here. So let's look here. So seems like something is not even calling the builds here. So yeah, here's the builds, and it's just hanging here. Unhindered promise cannot property status of undefined. Oh, so we're getting a message project not found here. Oh, again, man. Oh. I did the same thing again. So export token here and then npm start. I can't believe I fell for this again. All right, so now let's refresh and we should be getting the project, and we do. Awesome. So now we're gonna do envars update, and let's see like Docker build version. And we can see that all the Docker build versions are updated, and we can also update this to 0.0.9. And let's update the value. And we're getting back a 200, but I'm not getting back a 200 for the post. So this is weird. So let's go ahead and check that. All right, check values, and everything is 09. So something is going on with the post. So let's go ahead and look at that. So let's look at the client and envar actions. And here we have this one. So update localhost project, and then res. And then here, this is results. But then this did not come back. So then that never really, so let's update this to the same thing. So 0.0.9 update. And this just doesn't come back. So that means that on the server, let's look at the project.controller and update all envars. So this one, this should be just res.json. Okay, promise.all, and then this. So now let's do that again, and let's do here 0.0.9 and update the value. And now we're getting back this, which with success.true. But this is still loading, which is weird. So now the problem is on the client side. Weekeeps, hello, how are you? So my bike ride went pretty smooth, yes. I don't know why my Google account is not working now. So just 1 second, something is not working here correctly. Just grabbing my phone. So just 1 second, guys. I am fixing the something with the Something with my Google account. This is what we're working on. So working and what? Something is like going on with my Google account. Just 1 second, guys. Let me fix this. Something is definitely off with my Chrome. Just 1 second. So I'm sorry, just 1 second. Something is up with my Chrome, and I will fix it in a minute. All right. So now Twitch wants my token again. Oh my God, what happened with my browser today? All right, so this is what we're working on. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened with my computer, but I don't know. Something happened. No. It has nothing to do with the internet. It's like my I had to sign in to my Google Sync again in order for the account to work. So I don't know what was going on, but now it's fine. So we keeps. Are you here? All right. Well, I don't see you. I can tag you for some reason. All right. So we have working and we have Trello, and here you can actually see my bike ride from work. All right. So yeah. So let's debug this and see what is going on with the action on the client side. So this one, and then we have loading envars, and then I see what the problem is. So here in the envars and reducer, we have this. So this is here, and this is loading true, loading envars. All right. So now this should be good, and it should be updating again. So then we can do this and check the values and then update to 0.0.9 and update the value. And once it's updated, this should get updated correctly with no problem. So that's great. And from here, once we do that, we can dispatch this one. And then we can dispatch load envars with envar name. So we can reload this. Okay, so this is great, and now this is working as expected. All right, so let's do that. And now this is working great. So now when we do this, so if we go here, Docker build version, and we check the values, we get the values, and if I update it to 0.0.9, it should update it and do it here again. So that is great. Yeah. Awesome. So now our client here is working great. What I do want is to have a button here called build all. or at the bottom, like a big button for build all, like a danger button. So let's go to the build screen, and let's go to the presenter here. And here we'll do this. So let's go to Bootstrap buttons. And let's look at the buttons here. So this is component and buttons. Great. So then drop downs, buttons. Where is buttons here? Button. No, that's not what I want. This one. And no, not this one. Come on, where's the buttons? Navbar labels. Where are the buttons? So it's basically going to be button and then BTN and danger probably. So let's look at this. So let's have a button here, and class name is going to be, I think it's BTN large, and then I say BTN danger if I remember correctly. So let's do that, and then this is button. Let's do this. So I think this is how it should be. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, great. So this is what I want. So I just want a big red button to say rebuild everything. Okay, great. So now we will do this. Rebuild. All for, and then this is going to be this dot props dot, or is it state? Yeah, this dot state dot branch name. All right, so now this should say rebuild all for develop, and it's a nice little danger button here, which is exactly what we want. So now let's do this. So then div class name equals to rebuild, and then we will put the button in this div here. So let's take this button here and whoops, put it in this div. So by the way, after this, I am going to work on Golang, and I will explain in a minute what I want to build with Golang. So this is gonna be very interesting. Like the part that I'm gonna build with Golang is going to be very interesting. All right, so then we have this one. So we have rebuild all for develop, which is nice. And then what did I want? So build screen and CSS. Let's take this. And then this is going to be buttons here. And then let's give it a margin top of like, I don't know, like 20 pixels. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to call it buttons, call it rebuild. So rebuild. All right, so now this should look good, and it does. It's actually looking very good. I think the spacing between these should be better. So let's fix the spacing. Yeah, I feel like 15 pixels is just not spaced out enough. So let's see how that looks with 20 pixels. Yeah, 20 pixels looks much better. 20 pixels looks much better. All right, great. So then here we will do on click. Then this is going to be this dot rebuild. All right, and let's do rebuild all because we have a rebuild for one. So let's do that here. So we will say that rebuild. So here we need a confirmation. So let's do confirm. JavaScript confirm. So I just want a little JavaScript confirm simple thing. So what is it? Do we have a callback for this? Confirm and then r equals true. All right. So then here we'll do const confirmation equals to confirm. And this is going to be, are you sure? This is going to trigger a full rebuild for all projects. And then let's do something. All right. So for now, let's just check that. Okay. Oh, yeah, this breaks. Yeah, because the line is too long, then this breaks. Oh, it's like window dot confirm. Yeah. This doesn't work. Oh, rebuild all, I called it. Okay. So rebuild all. So let's do it again and build. Are you sure this is going to trigger full for cancel? Great. So now here we can do if confirmation. Then we're going to say this dot props dot rebuild all, like so. And now let's go to the build screen and let's go to the index and let's add rebuild all as a function, and this is going to be a branch name, and here. All right. So here, all right, let's not mix it up too much. And then we'll dispatch rebuild all with the branch name. All right. So now here we'll do rebuild all. Hey Matt, how are you? And then build and actions and function rebuild. Let's export this function. So export function rebuild all, and this is going to be the branch name. Great. And then this is going to be const of data and name equals to, you know what, let's just send the branch name. All right. So then here we will do, oh, this is why. So I need to return a function that has dispatch here. Let's go 9 and great. So then project and rebuild, and then oh, so we can actually use the same. Let's do rebuild all. All right, rebuild all. This is better. And then branch name, and then response.json. Okay. So here we can actually do then result here and dispatch the fetch build status, and we can pass in the name. And here we can do the same. So then, and just do the same thing, and this will fetch Um, dispatch build screen actions, line 48. Oh, here. Did I do it? Oh, okay. I horribly misspelled it. Name. Oh, and this is here. This is branch name. And you know, for the sake of consistency, let's call this name and call this name. And then down here, we'll call this name as well. This will be a better consistent one. All right, cool. So now what should happen is when I rebuild, let's take this one, for example. When I click rebuild, what should happen is that it should refresh, and it tries to refresh, but the server response just doesn't come back. Cannot read property status of undefined. Yeah, this means that... Okay, so what we can do here is we can... To give Circle CI a bit of time, we can do this. So set timeout, and then we can do this function. And then here, and we will give it 1 second. Let's give like Circle CI a time to recuperate. All right, cool. So then let's rebuild sticks. Okay, same thing. Same thing. I'm getting like undefined here. Oh, the rebuild is getting undefined. Wait a minute. So yeah, it's the rebuild that's coming. But here I see that the rebuild is coming out okay. And then this one is just not coming in. Let's try and give it a little bit more time. Set timeout here. Let's give it like 3 seconds. And here, let's give it 3 seconds as well. Okay. So let's rebuild here. Okay, rebuild, and then in 3 seconds, we should get the fetch. But still, oh, the branch name. Okay. So this one, rebuild all. That's the problem. Okay. So here we have a rebuild all and build the screen here. And let's go to presenter. And here we just rebuild all. We're not passing this. So this dot state dot branch name. And then this one is for the rebuild. There is a name and a build num. So here we don't have a branch name, so we actually need to pass it. So let's pass the branch name here. Okay, got it. So then here, rebuild. So this dot props dot rebuild. So let's go to the build and build here. So rebuild is going to be props.name, props.buildNum, and props.branch name. All right. So let's make sure we pass this. We should be passing because we're passing everything from the build down. So let's see. So let's check this and let's look at React here. And let's look at a build. So here, build URL, build name. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't have the branch name here. Yep, I don't see a branch name. So we can go to the server and go to build.js here and say that this dot branch equals to build object dot branch. And now we're going to get a branch. So if we refresh, we should see that in the properties. So yeah, branch is developed. Great. So here we can go back to the build and pass in branch. And then rebuild has a branch name here. And then we'll go to build actions and go to rebuild. And this should have a branch name. And here we need to pass in a branch name. And let's put a thing here. So wait for Circle CI to understand that there is an actual build. This is a result of multiple failures trying to query that in real time. All right, so let's do that. And now let's take this one and rebuild it. And what we should get is this. Awesome. So now we get this and we get the 3358. So this was 9064. So when I rebuild, then this will be, bam, 9065. Awesome. So one thing I want is to give this little thing a nice little. So a nice little thing. So just 1 second here. Let's look at app.css. And let's look at something here. So create React app. Here, create React app. And where is this? So I should have a CSS here. App.css. There it is, app.css. And this one. Keyframes app logo spin. From transform to transform. So here. What is this thing? Like, where is it? Where is this coming from? This is very interesting to me. So this app logo spin. And oh, I see that. So infinite, 20 seconds, linear. Awesome, 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 awesome. So let's look at build screen. And then index.js. Oh, sorry. So build screen style.css. And I'm literally going to copy this. So let's do that. And then here, this is going to be build spin. All right. So let's fix this here. By the way, people in the chat room, you're being super quiet. If any of you have questions, now is the time. So let's look at build and build.js here. Where is the rebuild button here? So this one, this, this one. Aha. All right, so this is a pure function. This is a pure function component, which basically means that I can't have a state, or can I? So let's do something here. So this is presenter here, and then this is React here, and React DOM, and this one, and then this is going to be build, and then here we're going to put this here, and we don't need the functions because this is now a component. And then we can take this and 31 lines up, copy this, and 5 lines down, another line, paste this, and then 30 line 1 is down, and do that again. And then export default build. Okay. So now props. So we need to say that this dot props for everything. This. So now this. So here, props to this dot props. Right, so now get class name. It's going to be this dot get class name, and then this dot get icon. All right, so now everything should render again, and it does. And what I want is basically when I click this, I want to animate this icon. So now let's do on click. And then let's see, component did update. Component did update. Let's look at that. Component did update is invoked immediately after updating occurs. This method is not called for the initial render. Great. So we can take this here and we can use this. Okay, so then we can say that this dot set state and then rebuild equals false. All right, and then constructor here and props, and we're gonna super props here, and then this dot state equals to rebuild false. Awesome. And then here, let's say that we have a rebuild button spin. And what I think is that, yeah, we need like this animation thing here. And then the animation is going to be build spin. So let's give this a shot. Before we actually do it, let's say that the class name for this is going to be rebuild button spin. So now, this doesn't work. Why doesn't this work? Should this be like a so glyph? Oh, it didn't update the class. Wait a second. So we only have a glyph icon and glyph icon refresh. Like the rebuild didn't even get in. What? Why? What is going on? So let's see here. Yep, it doesn't. So let's put this here. Rebuild button spin. And then, yeah, you see it's like it has a little, like nice little animation here. So that is great. And let's give it like a 10 seconds. I want to make it faster. So let's give this animation 10 seconds. But something is like, why doesn't it get the class name here? You see, like I'm putting it here on the glyph icon and it just wouldn't, it just doesn't do it. What is going on? How come it's not giving it the class name? Wait a minute. Let's say we get this. So, yeah, it's like it's possessed. It's like this. It's not doing anything with this file. Like this file is just not working. Hi Chester, it's not a stupid question. That's why we have a chat command to see what we're working on. And there's also a Trello. And what I'm working on is basically a CI dashboard. And right now I'm basically working on animating this button once you click on it. But what? So let's do a rebuild button. And what I want is a cursor pointer. That's the first thing. So let's do this as a rebuild button. All right. So now let's see. Dude, what is going on? No, I have to see something. So let's take this entire component and literally delete it. So what I want is like take 32 lines up and delete here and return an empty div. That's it. Okay, so this does work. Okay. By the way, Chester, this channel is free and open. So all questions are welcome and no question is too stupid. So really feel free to ask any question you want, my friend. Any question you want. I honestly don't understand why this is not being updated. It's like everything I put here, rebuild button. So let's do that. Okay, so now oh man, that is crazy. Now it works. So then this is a rebuild button, then we get a cursor pointer. Great. And then here, we can say something is weird. So this here. Wait. Oh, I know what I did. Oh man, I'm stupid. I put it in. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Please do not mind that user error here. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. All right, so here, and then I don't know if anybody even noticed, but okay. So now that's a rebuild button. And what we can do is say get, here we can say that this dot get button animation class here, and close this off, and then this. And we can put this here. And then we can say if this dot state dot rebuild equals to true, then return rebuild button spin. Otherwise, let's go ahead and return nothing. Awesome. One final thing now, when we click this, what we want is this dot set state. Let's put this as a different thing here. So then this dot props, this dot rebuild, like so. And then here, let's say that this is a rebuild, and paste it here. But before we do, we said this dot set state rebuild equals to true. And then this dot props dot rebuild func. Great. So let's do that. And what should happen now? And before I do that, let's go to build and actions. And before I do that, what I want is to return true here. I just don't want, I want this to be a no op. I don't want to overload our CI with like a lot of builds. And as you can see, good thing I did, because it doesn't work. So let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, so when I click this, oh, React blew up. Maximum call stack size exceeded. So where is this? Is this like this dot set state for the rebuild? Oh, component did update. That's not good. Component did. No, that's not what I want. Props. Yeah, it's basically like, because I do set state, the component updates, and then it kind of regenerates over and over and over again. But this is. So let's do that. If prev props is different than this dot props, that's not good. That's really not good, but let's see first if that works. It does. Okay. It does. The question is whether this is, as you can see, like when I click it, it has this nice little animation to show you that something is going on. And what should happen, that once the rebuild did go through, then it should stop. So let's do that and rebuild, and let's see that something happens. And something should have happened by now. So let's save this. Wait, why is this spinning? Okay. So rebuild. Yeah, it's not. Oh, okay. I know what happened. Okay, so this props this one. So then this goes here, and this goes back. So let's do this, and we get a rebuild. And once we do that, we'll get a new this, and it stops. All right. All right. So we got what we wanted. So now what we need to do really is this. If the build is happening right now, I don't want to rebuild it. So let's go ahead and do this. And status is running. So let's do that. And here. Okay, so if this is this, and then if this dot state dot so if this dot props dot status equals to running, then we need to return hidden, because we don't want to show it if the build is currently running. I don't want to rebuild the currently running build. And as you can see now, we don't have that here. So what we should happen if I take this build and rebuild it is that when I click it, it should animate, right? And once the build is starting, then the button should disappear. So let's start that. And as you can see, the button animates. And once the build starts, it disappears. This is great. Awesome, 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 awesome. So this, we can add that. So git commit -m and rebuild is working much nicer. And what I want to do, let's take a screenshot here. And then let's take a screenshot here. All right. And this is nice. Okay, time for questions. I have been at it for the last like 45 minutes. I have no idea how many people we have live. I am literally talking to myself. Time for questions. Now is the time. So who has questions about... We have 8 viewers. This is an all-time low, basically. Is it the JavaScript? What is it? What is it that we have so little viewers? Okay. All right. So who has questions? Let's see on Twitch. So Chester, first of all, welcome Chester. Oh, Spence, how are you, mate? Maybe it's my hair. Is it my hair? Oh man, I'm fit. All right, cool. So Chester, maybe you can give some advice for a beginner. Should I focus now on learning ES6? Better practice more with ES5. I don't see a point in practicing ES5 or ES6. I think really the major thing is to learn JavaScript. Just do projects with JavaScript. Just as you can see here, this project is, I'm moving between the server side and the client side, and it's all JavaScript. Some CSS, obviously, some HTML, but it's 95% JavaScript. Just work on projects that you're interested in. I think that um, just working on a project will just open your mind to different things, and you will focus less on those ES6 or ES5. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's just prettier syntax, and not a lot more. I think you should focus more on just learning JavaScript and training yourself more and more with the paradigms of what it is to program JavaScript, like the functional programming side of it, the object-oriented side of it, and so on. Seems ES6 support. Just a sec, I'm coming up. All right, seems ES6 support not full yet on all browsers. So yeah, it's not on all browsers. It's not even in Node. But you basically you basically do compilers, right? Compilers, and or the better name is maybe transpilers, because what you do is you basically write ES6, but then you build. And when you build, then you will get an ES5, right? So if you look at this project, and you can see the package.json of this project. So let's look at this package.json, and you can see build, right? So what I will show you now is you can do a yarn build, and what you'll see is that it's creating an optimized production build. Okay, and as you saw, and you saw me coding for 45 minutes, I am writing 99% ES6, right? So let's go here. Where does this put it? All right, so it's in build. So we can go to build, and then you can see static. And if you look at the JS, this is ES5 JavaScript minified, right? And you can actually look at, it's like a single line minified. This is 100% ES5 compatible JavaScript. And you can see the index.html is HTML5, very simple. And basically everything became, even the CSS, everything became compatible with all browsers, right? So I hope that answers your question. Spence S, I hate I missed it. I'm really interested to learn more about your React Redux architecture. This was a fun project. It's not super small, and it has a lot with like server side. But yeah, it was a very fun project. So you can see there is pretty much a lot to it, and the server side does a lot of grouping and regrouping and third-party API. So there is quite a bit of work here. There's like React Router and React Router v4 and so on and so forth that I had to, learn in the process. So it was pretty fun. Sure. So you can go ahead and catch up. Thank you, Chester, for the follow, man. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a code review. 100% sure. Is Jarmahent here, by the way? I don't see him. All right, let's go ahead and look at your Golang code. Can you link it? Do you have like a repository? Posted. Okay. AWS get this one. Line 57 to 67. For reservation in reservation instances .0 public DNS simplified. Reservation instances tags, simplified instances, reservation instances tags value. First, what I don't really understand is what is this even doing? For that, in reservation, in range reservation, then if reservation dot instances, so you go to the first instance. By the way, this code has a potential to break, just so you know, because sometimes reservation will not have instances. So this code will panic out and break. So then simplified result is you start a simplified result. All right. So then simplified result dot public DNS name. So you basically get the public DNS name from servers. You get like the tag name and the instance name for servers. All right, I see. And then you take color.green and then item.instance name and color.green item.public DNS name. So this will give you like BE1 and the IP of BE1, FE1 and the IP of FE1, and so on and so forth. The problem is some of them won't have a public DNS name. Yeah, that's true. Some of them won't. And some of them don't have tags. Yep, that's true. So look, so this code is not bad. The only problem I have with this code is that it shouldn't exist in the first place. Because everything you do here is 100% supported in the AWS console. And sorry, not console, but CLI. And that is the like my main beef with this code. Is that it shouldn't really exist. And the second problem I have with this code is that you couple this code with EC2 command, which is basically 3 years old and nobody uses it anymore. So you do EC2 describe instances, but if I don't have EC2, then, and I know this Golang program is just for you, and probably nobody's gonna use it in the world because nobody's gonna even know about it. But the problem is that you couple it with this command. What I would rather do is I would get like the command. So I don't know, like AWS EC2 describe instances, right? And this will give me JSON. And what I would prefer on doing is pipe it into my own program. Instead of that, my own program will run std out. So and no, there is no cleaner way to do what you do here. No, this is unfortunate, but there is none. No, this is. I mean, this code is ugly, but it's not bad code. Simplified then. Yeah, and also this, it might not be the first tag. You know what I mean? And also here, you could have taken all of this and just say that this is instance. And then instead of calling this here and here and here, you can just assign it one time here as instance. Then that would be good. And one other thing here is instead of wrapping that if, is saying that if something that continue, and then basically the rest of the code will not get executed. And then you exit early if something went wrong, and it will just not get the it will just not get to the rest of the code instead of just wrapping it with one big if. So those are the things that I would look at. So just to to give you a visualization, so let's do vim main.go here. And let's paste that in. And again, the first issue here is that this should just be instance. And then here you can do instance. And here you can do instance. And then here you can do instance. Right? So that's one thing. And the second is instead of doing this, you can just do that and put that here and then continue. or next. Wait, is it next or continue? It's next. Um, yeah. So just like exit quickly here. I don't remember if it's next or continue or break. I never remember with Golang, but that's one thing. Um, the other, like, what is simplified? Oh, so simplified result. You make a simplified result here. Okay, so you make a simplified result here, and then you print simplified result. Okay. Yeah. Yep. That's really the only thing I would change. Again, two main issues that are outside of this code, right? Are one, this program should not exist in the first place. That's the main thing. Um, and the other is that you couple the the EC2 command to your program. And again, you couple a very old program that no one other than you probably uses anymore. What I would prefer is that this program will accept std in, and that std in can be a JSON, and it can also be a file that you just saved on your computer. Instead of calling and calling and calling the API over and over and over again while you test this program or you want to do something or something like that, then instead of calling this here and getting std out from that program, just give this program std in, and then you can cat some JSON file and then std in. Yeah, like pipe it into that program. Um, that is like the first thing that jumped into my eyes. That when I tried to run it, I'm like, EC2, who even uses EC2 anymore? And then you couple the program, right? And the thing is that Amazon JSON did not change between EC2 and then AWS. And all you need to do is just change this, and that's about it. But again, my main problem is that this entire code, and again, this is beyond the scope of code review. This is more beyond the. This is like more to the point of maybe mentoring a little bit. But this code should not even exist. You shouldn't have spent that 5, 6, or somewhat hours that it took you to do it at all, because everything you want to do here is supported in JQ and supported in the AWS CLI. So if you want to get only the public DNS name and instance name from Amazon, you can easily do it. And as you can see, you can do this EC2, and EC2 is my command, so you can see EC2. This is just my file. Inside of that file, it's called AWS, and you can see EC2, and then I'll do -- profile, and I'll do like fr frank, and then or pr frank, and then I'll do like zook, and then it will give me a nice little list of the instance ID, the name of the instance, and then the IP, and none is basically the public DNS name, and this instance is not even visible publicly. And this is all just wrapping Amazon commands, right? But again, this is where it's beyond the scope of code review on this specific code, but more to the point of how do you want to spend your time. All right. Okay, so that's what I would say. Yeah. So replacement is AWS EC2. So AWS parent command. Um, AWS parent command, and then it has like EC2, and it has RDS, and it has like Elasticache, and so on and so forth. And this replaces the parent before. So before you had like RDS, you had EC2, and all of them, and they basically wrapped everything with AWS and made it better. All right. AWS describe instances doesn't work. AWS EC2 describe instances will work. But you need the AWS command to have it on your computer in order for that to work, man. Come on. All right. Other questions? Other people in the chat room. Do you have questions about the project that we're doing now, or about the project, or about any other thing, really? Feel free to ask questions in the chat room. All right, cool. So I hope you got it, Stevens, and that you're fine now. All right, so let's git ignore here. What I want to ignore is the build and rm-f build. Wait, what happened here? rm-f r build main.go. All right, so cool. Let's push this. So now our client is ready, and let's see what we changed on the server. Here and -p. So this one is this one, this one is this one, this one is this one. Great. Git commit -m and add the branch to the build object. So let's push. And golden. Great. So that is now working awesome, and the app looks good. One thing that's left for us to change, let's go to the index.html here. And then here, we will do circle, let's do CI dashboard. And where is the icon here? Where is the fav icon? Right here. So rm-f public and fav icon.ico. Great. So here. Oh. Need to add those first. What is going on? So let's run prettier, and now we have this. Git add here -p. So this one looks better. This one looks better. Better, 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 and better. All right. Commit -m and then prettier. All right. So it is 9:15, which gives us not enough time to work on what I wanted um, in the beginning. So I wanted to work on a Golang proxy that is basically going to act as an authentication transparent proxy for client server applications. So basically, you'll be able to put that in front of your application and get free authentication. But I'm not going to be able to finish that by the end of the stream, obviously. So that puts us in an awkward place. So let's open it up to the favorite part of the chat room. Q&A. All right. So let's open it up to the chat, people. I don't know how many people we have online, but we have about like 20 minutes. So what I want to do is I want to open it up to Q&A. So if people have questions about interviews or programming or general like career questions, now is the best time to ask, because we have a little bit of time, and not enough time to work on anything super interesting. So I think the best use of our time would be to just like do a chat party a little bit and see how that goes. But you're not really cooperating with me today. All right. What's my wish list for Go 2? Look, honestly, I don't have one. I am good with where Go is. I am not, and I think you saw the stream multiple times as well. Um, and I'm not big on generics. I'm not. I never missed it when doing Go. So I really don't have a big wish list for Go 2. I'm good with where it is now, to be honest. Heartsy, you didn't miss the whole show. Now is the time for Q&A. It's the favorite part of the chat room. Spence, I've actually been networking like crazy, getting some good leads on starting a new career, largely based on your advice. First of all, man, beyond everything, I am so happy for you. Seriously, so happy for you. And I said that many times here on the stream, and I tell that to people in real life as well. That is the key. The key to putting yourself on the top of the stack. That is the key. The key is networking. The key is going to meetups, shaking hands, talking to people, introducing yourself, giving a business card, what have you. But just putting yourself in a different spot than the same person, that sending a CV. You know what I'm saying? This is why I have never, ever. Well, I shouldn't say never because I probably did somewhere along my career path, but not since I can remember did I send a CV or apply to a position using the same tools as everybody else. Like go to Workable or go to like Hacker News, who is hiring, and just put myself in the same pile as other people. You know what I'm saying? I'm always on the different pile. And it's easy to say, hey, you have all these years of experience. Of course, you'll be on the different pile. But what I'm saying, even with the pile of those people that have that much experience, I still was on a different pile all the time. That's because I approach things differently. And whenever I gave gave a little bit on that rule, I failed. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't talk to recruiters. That's why, if if you wanna, and when people hear me saying that, they think it's uh, I don't know, it's cocky. But the point is not to be cocky. The point is just saying, hey, if you want to talk to me, I talk. The CTO should talk to me, not the recruiter, right? Not the recruiter. And yeah, dude, that H8 thing, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like that like who is hiring is just it's worse than, I don't know if you guys ever been to like a cattle bidding war. It's the same. It's basically the same. It's like it's cattle. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, definitely connections are better. I'm awful at it, but it's true. Dude, much better, much better. And it's not the thing about connections. People think that connections is such a bad word, right? But even that, this stream, like now, the thing that we're doing right now is connections, right? Now, and that Discord that we use together, that's connections. You know what I'm saying? Connections, people always like, the context of connections is like, oh, I'm going to get like something that I shouldn't be getting, right? But that's not the point with connections. The point with connections is just having a relationship. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people do, but that's bullshit. Hearing you say it helped. I viewed networking as a dirty word, like you're using people. No, man. Think about it, right? Think about it. You know what I'm saying? So you're on the Discord with everybody else, and you're saying, hey, I'm looking for a job. Dude, if I hear something, I am going to recommend you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, hey, talk to that guy. And now when that person will hear that it's coming from me, automatically you're on a different pile. And that's not because I am me. That's because like I'm his friend, or I know him for a while, or I'm in the position to, sit for a cup of coffee with him. And, so it's different. I think all those LinkedIn, HNs and stuff like that is just putting people in piles. And my entire life, my entire career, I have always focused on being on a different pile. Always. So whatever pile you're using, it's not relevant to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not relevant. I don't care. I don't give a shit. So it's different. And again, the way I approach it and the way you guys should approach it may be a little bit different. But it's like, even when I was looking for a job, right? Then, and I'm always open about it, and I'm always, because I think it helps, so I'm very open about it. But, when people say, hey, you're like, you have these demands and some of these people, and they show you like literally, hey, like some of these people, and they show you a bunch of CVs, they don't have that demand. I'm like, okay, that's not relevant to me. That information is not relevant to me. So that's the way you should approach things, right? Just because you have just a tiny CV, or just because you think you don't have enough experience, doesn't mean you shouldn't be on a different pile. And sometimes it's just about like getting the extra effort in, and meeting people and going to a meetup and shaking hands. You know what I'm saying? Just like think about it as a conversion rate, right? If you post CVs, your conversion rate is likely 5%. If you go and shake hands, your conversion rate is likely 30%. So yeah, it's definitely go to meetups, meet people, just like connect. It's much better. Shandu16, welcome back. We haven't seen you on the stream in a long while. What have you been up to? What have you been up to? By the way, another thing with like blasting applications, people that get your application, they know you're blasting applications. So they know, hey, this is not a personal guy, right? This is not, he's like applying to 100 different jobs, right? Um, when you go and you connect with people and you say, hey, what you're doing is very interesting. Would do you mind like if I come and interview for you? I would very much like to work on that project. Dude, think about it. Now that guy thinks about you as someone that thinks his idea is interesting. That has power. That has huge power. Ito Coder. My friend advised me to think about what I can offer to a business which of their problem can solve when I come for an interview. Yes, 100%. That is, I said that many times on the stream. Don't talk about anything other than problems, right? I said that many times. Don't talk about anything other than problems. And when you say, and when you talk about the problems, say why you are more qualified than everybody else to solve those problems. But they asked, that seems perverse. I don't really follow. I actually started reaching out to people on LinkedIn, just asking some advice on getting hired. Devs are usually super nice, and now two guys have passed my resume to their managers and recommended me. So yeah, so this is a different pile, right, Spence? This is great. First of all, man, thumbs up. This is great, and this is 100% a different pile. You know, so definitely. Ito Coder. So not worry about knowing specific language. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. I don't think not knowing a specific language is a barrier. If you know programming and you're a skilled problem solver, then it doesn't matter. You're gonna solve that problem. So we're out of sync. I meant asking for a bunch of resumes from people you know you don't want to hire. I think problem solving is most important. Yes, definitely. Heartsy, I think we're out of sync. So if you have a specific question, then maybe you should ask it again in just one chat message. Because as you can see, like I am looking at the same thing that you see on the screen. So if it's not here, I can literally not see it. Who is Niels Provost? And what is this one? What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Are we talking about the same thing? All right. So Spence, man, very, very good news. I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. Definitely good news. Best news I heard in the last 30 minutes. What? I think I'm also out of sync with your heart. What? I feel like I'm so lost. I literally have no idea what are you guys talking about. Yeah, yes, Ben. Keep trying, man. Keep trying. Um, Everybody's lost in life. The good news is that Spence is on his way to getting an awesome job. That's the good news. And that he used advice he heard here on the stream. That's the good news. And yeah, that is great news. And again, that is why I do these streams. That is why I am here at 9:30 p.m. after a full day of work and 1.5 hours on the bike. That is why I stream. because if I can provide value for one person and they can nail a job or do some or just think in a way that they didn't think before, then I did my job. Pretty much never talked on Twitch until I waded into this area. Not used to it at all. First of all, this is an honor. So thank you. And I really, really, really try. I really try not to not to go as fast as I can, or to not or to be anti-social. That is why I put a big camera, and that is why I always encourage people to ask questions, because the format of this Q&A is the part that I enjoy the most, and the part that gives value to people. And this is why I say, guys, just ask your question. Even if that question has been asked 100 times, I will still give you the best answer I can. And also a good thing is that I have no interest in your situation. You know what I mean? And when I say interest, I mean not in the way that I'm not interested, but I mean I'm not invested in it, right? So my advice to you is always pure, because I don't I have nothing to gain out of giving you advice, and nothing to lose. Um, oh man, Fullstack bot is giving 0 points again. Let's kill it. Modality, thank you for the follow, and I'm sorry for the 0 points. I'm going to kill the stupid bot that gave you 0 points. I'm sorry about that, my friend. You shouldn't get 0 points. I'm sorry. How do you cost per project? You mean like what do you mean, Shandu? like as a freelancer? First, I'm not a freelancer. And even when I was, I never priced per project ever in my life. Um, Points do nothing. um, points do absolutely nothing. It's just I wanted to do a bot where keep scoring of people, and then we can see who's the kind of most valuable person and stuff like that. So you would get like 5 points for following, and then you'll get like 5 points for answering a question to another person in the chat, and so on and so forth. But I just never implemented the system, so it goes out and gives 0 points to people. So yeah, that is it. So I'll try to generate more questions instead of riffing. Have you ever had one of those coding interview despite of your networking? Yes, and I failed. What do points? Oh, I answered that. I think have a programming streams or people making Twitch bots. Yeah, I try not to make Twitch bots. And when I did, it was a very interesting one. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but it basically controlled uh, an RC car. Dectarum JJ, I hope. Decratum. What? Um, how is it possible to keep up with the current meta, or at least be aware? For example, I learned about WebAssembly and how it's capable of doing XYZ, for example. People a long time ago were using Visual Basic to build their desktop application, but in the more recent time, I have seen people been using WebTech and their desktop front end. So the best advice I can give here is to cut yourself out from what's not important to you. Otherwise, it's fatigue, and it will drive you mad. For example, WebAssembly for me is something that I haven't even tried. I know it has some value, but that value to me right now is not clear. And what I do usually is that I say, when I see an ROI on something, then I will invest in it. But if there isn't, then I just like zone it out. I just zone it out. I literally don't care about it until I do, and then I learn it. I felt horribly in coding interviews. However, they invited me for a second conversation at their office. Terribly nervous. So first of all, that means that's a good sign that they invited you for another one. So don't be nervous, man. Just go and be awesome. Yeah, doesn't sound like you failed. I think I may have saved my chance by talking about what I think could be improved in their application architecture logic. First of all, yeah, maybe you did, and maybe that is such a pain point for them that they say, hey, if he picked it up in a minute and we've been talking about it for the last 6 months, maybe we should talk to him again, Maybe we should talk to him again. So I wouldn't even think that you failed. I think that you passed with flying colors. Definitely would think that you passed with flying colors. All right, other people. We have like 13 people in the chat now, and like 2 or 3 are asking questions. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy. All right. I can change my name if that helps. Wait, how did you change your Oh, I see. No, how did you change like the color in the chat? Now you were red and now you're green. That's strange. That is very strange. Poison, thank you for the follow. You are amazing. Thank you for the follow. What kind of dog do I have? I will show you. I will show you. There she comes. You see her? Wiggling here. Wiggling her tail crazily. She's the best dog ever. Best dog ever. It's a mixed breed. We rescued her. She's a rescue. So we have no idea what she is, but she's a good dog. She's I think she's 11 now or 12. Yeah, she's the best. She is the best. She raised all of our kids. I think she got her ears pulled by every kid by in every direction. Yeah, dogs are amazing. We don't deserve dog as a human species. They're too good. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know you can change your color. Cool. Yeah, she's 12 too. She's about 12. She's good. She's keeping me company here while my family is on vacation. Being a good girl. All right, people. So it's 9:40, and I see the questions are kind of drizzling away. So what we will do is we will say goodbye, and we will see each other tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST. And tomorrow we will work on that Golang proxy. And I hope I can put up a post or something for the like overall architecture of what I'm trying to achieve. But basically, what I want to do is I want to have a transparent auth proxy, right? So one very common thing that we do, everywhere, is that we have some kind of app that does something, like the CI dashboard or something like that. But this app needs authentication. So what you do over and over and over again, you do the same authentication, and it's stupid. When you have a microservice architecture and you want every app to do one thing, it's stupid. So what I want is essentially to have the client and the server, right? So we have a client and a server, and these will be behind the proxy, like so. So when a user comes into the app, right, it comes to the proxy. And then if the user is not connected, then it goes to GitHub and does the authentication, and then comes back to the proxy and puts the responses back to the client and to the server here, like so. But basically what I want is for this to be totally transparent. All right. This is the should be totally transparent and be basically every time you want to do some authentication to your app, you'll put that proxy in front of your app, and then it will go to GitHub, authenticate, use all the cookies and stuff like that. And then from the app, it will just proxy the responses to internally to your client app and to your server app. And this is something very, very common that basically like every app does. And often I don't develop apps just to avoid the authentication. Seriously. So I want to do that. And this is going to be 100% Golang, a lot of networking, proxying, HTTP, and HTTP tests. So I want to work on that tomorrow. So we'll see how that plan goes. And I'll try to have like an overall architecture, an overall idea on the blog post. So we can show that to people when they ask what am I working on, as they always do. All right, so you guys all have a good night. Spence, I'm really happy for you. People in the chat room, thank you for your questions. And again, if I provided value to you and you liked what you see, then hit the follow button at the top. Don't be shy. Subscribe is even better. And yeah, we'll see each other tomorrow, 8 p.m. PST. Peace.